Welcome back, students of FYBA batch. And today we will be doing a poem from the literature part of the textbook. So please keep your textbooks open while I read the poem. So the today's poem will be based on the felling of the banyan tree, just as you can see on the screen over here, and it's by Dilip Chitre. Okay, so a little bit about the poet, which is also written before the poem can start. Dilip Chitre, he's a bilingual poet. So he's written mainly in Marathi, and he has translated those Marathi texts into English text. So he's a bilingual poet. He can translate with two languages. He knows how to translate into two languages. So another thing is that he has also won a Sahitya Academy Award, which is very a reputed award for those who have really contributed a lot in the field of literature. So he's won that. And about his poems deal his poems are rather a reflection of death, exile, alienation. Okay, you can say they're a little sad type, but then that's how his poems kind of reflect. So when you read this particular poem, you will get to know what kind of poems he's usually written. Okay, so we're just going to start off reading the poem now. My father told the tenants to leave, who lived in the houses surrounding our house on the hill. One by one, the structures were demolished. Only our own house remained and the trees. Trees are sacred, my grandmother used to say. Felling them is a crime, but he massacred them all. The Shioga, the Odumba, the Neem were all cut down. But the huge banyan tree stood like a problem whose roots lay deeper than all our lives. My father ordered it to be removed. The banyan tree was 3 times as tall as our house. Its trunk had a circumference of 50 feet. Its scraggly aerial roots fell to the ground from 30 feet or more. So, first they cut the branches, sawing them off for 7 days, and the heap was huge. Insects and birds began to leave the tree, and then they came to its massive trunk. 50 men with axes chopped and chopped. The great tree revealed its rings of 200. We watched in terror and fascination this slaughter. As a raw mythology revealed to us its age, soon afterwards we left Baroda for Bombay, where there are no trees except the one which grows and seeds in one's dreams, its aerial roots looking for ground to strike. Now that we've read the poem, let's know a little bit about the poem. Sorry. Okay. This poem is about the cutting down of an ancient banyan tree that stood in the yard of the poet's ancestral house. So, this is when he was a child. Okay, he's at his ancestral house. His mother, his grandmother and grandmother and his father. I'm sorry, his grandmother and his father are mentioned in this picture as a part of their family. There may be more, but I think he's talking about the place that he used to live in, which is his house when he was a very small kid. Okay. The cutting down of the banyan seems to signify the cutting down of roots and the movement to a different and more modern atmosphere signified by the move to Bombay. Now, you know what, students? He also dealt with modernity, how modernity is taking place in a country like India. You know, in the 90s, modernity, globalization, these were all taking place as fast as possible. So what was needed for that? Do you think people had somewhat the brains in them to keep modernity and also to keep the forests? No, to build these certain buildings, build malls, build so and so things that suit the urban needs of people. They had to cut down trees and forests. So many forests have been destroyed just in order to make something, a modern revelation or just a modern invention for the people of the modern age. So this is also what he dealt with. So yes, the topic over here is about a banyan tree, but the topic over here is also about how the banyan tree is being destroyed and for what it's being destroyed. Okay, so we'll just start off. Yeah. Explanation of the poem. My father told the tenants to leave who lived in the houses surrounding our house on the hill. The poet speaks of his childhood and about tenants. Tenants are those who are staying on rent at a owner's property that were told to leave or uh, so as to destroy the structures, buildings. The poet's ancestral house HOUSE, sorry, house remains, and so do the trees. One by one, the structures were demolished, only our house remained and the trees. So this is a very simple thing that he has said, that they wanted to demolish certain buildings. They wanted to demolish certain sites so that they can build another thing. Okay. So the tenants had to move out, and it was only the poet's house that was left. Trees are sacred, my grandmother used to say. Felling them is a crime, but he massacred them all. The sheoga, the odumber, the neem were all cut down, but the huge banyan tree stood like a problem. Though it being said by the grandmother, she is a figure, she might be a figure of authority because she really knows a lot about, the early ages, and she knows a lot about mythology. So she's just trying to add to it, saying that trees are sacred, the dear to the gods, sacred, something related to religion, something that is sacred, it has a deeper meaning to it, you know. Yet the trees were cut down. Most trees were cut, but the banyan tree was the huge problem because of the way it was. All of you must look at a banyan tree. Have you seen its, those branches hanging down where sometimes children catch and swing around with them? That's there. And have you seen how huge it is? Banyan trees stay up to at least 100 years and above. So their life, the way they look, the way they are, it's huge. So do you think it would be easy for men to just cut down a banyan tree, instantly, just in a go? Of course no. Okay. So why it was a problem? It was a problem because of the way it was. Just it's very beam. It's huge. It's not easy to cut, and it's not easy to do away with. Okay. Whose roots lay deeper than all our lives, my father ordered it to be removed. The banyan tree was 3 times as tall as our house. Its trunk had a circumference of 50 feet. So the banyan tree is a strong and huge tree, and its roots are such as well. So of course, if it's a huge tree, what supports the tree? It's the roots that are within the soil, right? The roots are so strong of the banyan tree that it's supporting this huge tree. Okay. The poet explains about the very nature of the tree for it being cut down by its own father. Now, he's just trying to explain, in some of the lines, he's just trying to explain how huge the tree is, okay, its circumference, the way it looks, how it's not easy to take it down, okay. Its scraggly aerial roots. Now, I had told you that there are certain branches that are hanging down where children catch them and they, they swing around in those branches of the banyan tree. So those are scraggly aerial roots, the roots which are in the air. They're not underneath the ground. Its scraggly aerial roots fell to the ground from 30 feet or more, 30 feet or more. So first they cut the branches, sawing them off for 7 days, and the heap was huge. insects and birds began to leave the tree. Its untidy aerial roots, so scraggly means untidy, roots of the tree that grow on the branches of the tree and dangle, okay, which were more of a trouble, were dealt with first. The cutting of the tree was no easy task, as it took days to do so. How many days? It took 7 days to cut a tree, okay, and leave aside the amount of the huge heap that it made, huge heap of garbage that it created because of the branches and just the remnants of the tree lying down. So yes, cutting of the tree was no easy task, as it took days to do so. Living beings that reside in it began to leave. So, students, insects and birds, these are mainly the kind of species that live on trees. Okay, trees are their house, it's their home. So, they, poor thing, even they had to leave the tree. So, he's just trying to say that just because we have to cut a tree, the amount of damage it's doing to other things around us, okay, it's doing damage to our environment, okay, it's doing damage to the things, the living beings that have made their house on that tree, okay. And then they came to its massive trunk. The trunk is the main body, the main part of the tree, from where all the other branches come out. Its massive trunk, 50 men with axes chopped and chopped. The great tree revealed its ring of 200 years. We watched in terror and fascination this slaughter. The poet explains of how it was not easy to cut down the tree. As the tree cutters reached the trunk of the tree, its age being that of 200 years. So this, just as I said, that banyan trees can live up to or more than a 200, more than 100 years. So this particular tree, it was of 200 years, and it started to show its glorious age. People got to know that it's of 200 years, and it's not easy to cut this thing down. It's been living for 200 years. Before your father was born, before your grandfather was born, this tree was there. Okay? This was both a sight of unfortunate met with awestruck moment for all to witness. So, see, it's unfortunate, it's terrifying, because it's a tree that's falling down. It's coming to its end, it's being murdered. But it's awe-striking as well. Why? Because have you ever seen a tree falling down or being cut down in its, have you ever seen a tree being fallen down and being cut down? The amount of noise it makes, the way it just tumbles. It's really, it's really fascinating to witness for the poet. Okay? As a raw mythology revealed to us its age, soon afterwards we left Baroda for Bombay, where there are no trees except the one which grows and seeds in one's dreams, its aerial roots looking for ground to strike. The banyan tree, being one of the ancient trees of the Hindu mythology, I mean, to what I know, the Hindu mythology does refer to the banyan tree as one of its ancient trees. It's been there for thousands and thousands of years, and centuries in fact. So was cut down. The poet's family left from Baroda to Bombay. See, Bombay being a cosmopolitan city, so he's trying to say, just as I said, that he also deals with modernity, the urban lifestyle and what people will do to live in the urban lifestyle. So they moved from Baroda, it's a quiet town, then we've gone to Bombay, which is, it's a buzzing city, it never sleeps, okay. So Bombay, because I think in the 80s and 90s it was Bombay, and now it's Mumbai. So even at that time it was a city that never sleeps. It was a cosmopolitan modern city, okay, where to make more accesses for humans, trees are cut down and are very less in number. I mean, as of now, Mumbai, that which used to be Bombay, Mumbai has become, a polluted city. They don't have many trees, or even if there is greenery, it's very less in number. And yes, trees are only part of one's dreams, and it grows as well as seeds. Seeds means to be in an agitated emotional state. Okay, to be very down with what has happened, or to be sad. And its roots of the air are met with a future of being cut down. So here he's trying, in those very two lines, he's trying to say that, in these very two lines, he's trying to say that if there is a tree in a place like Bombay where people strive and really yearn for modernity and urban lifestyle, a tree will not be able to survive for long. A tree will only be able to survive, in your dreams, maybe. And then what else? What is going to happen to a tree even if it is there? It's looking to strike ground, means it will get cut down easily. Because we humans are going to do just about anything to, want that modernity, to, put ourselves on the map for things like cosmopolitan city, a modern city, an urban city, city that can suit people's lifestyle. But what are we doing to our environment? you know so this is what the poet tries to tell us, that, so this is really, just as I told you that he deals with the alienation, exile, death. So this is a kind of death, although the tree was being murdered by people for its for their very own needs. So this is how the poet tries to tell us that, you know a tree that exists, it might just get cut down, unfortunately. Okay? So no matter how ancient that tree is, no matter how it's been written down in the books of mythology that it really matters a lot. Trees do really matter a lot. It doesn't bother us humans to consider those words, because we've already done so much of destruction when it comes to cutting down of trees and just wanting what we want. Okay, just taking what we want. So yeah, this is the poem. The question and answers, I hope you try to do them on your own. If you want to refer to the online references, fine, definitely, but please try to do them on your own as well. That's it. We will meet in the next class.